Designing a home theater is always a difficult thing to do, regardless of the size of the project. But there was a tool that really helped me out when designing my home theater, and best of all, it's completely free. What's up guys, Brad here. So I'm super excited to share this with you guys. Some of you have actually commented on my very first build series video about this very tool, and that is Audio Advice's Home Theater Designer tool. Now, I'm gonna say this right now, I'm not sponsored by Audio Advice, I'm not affiliated with them. They don't even know I'm making this video. I just really enjoyed using this tool. It helped me out a lot during the design and setup of my home theater. And I wanted to make a video about it in case you're not aware of it, and also how I use the tool and some features of it that I really liked. Now, it's completely coincidental that they also just released an update for it, adding some new features and tweaking some things. And while this video won't go over any of those new features really, my friend and fellow YouTuber Youthman actually went to Audio Advice Live and spoke with Scott Newnham himself about this very tool and got a preview hands-on build of this new home theater designer tool before it even came out. So if you're interested in a deeper dive into what's new and what's been changed, then definitely check out Youthman's video, which I'll link in the description below. So here in the home theater designer tool, I'll run you through how I used it. Now, what I really liked is, first off, just with anything set up, you can kind of look around the room here and see it from different angles, which I really like. They even have a top-down view here and then a view from your primary seat. So that's super cool. They also have a bunch of little things down here that you can use, turn the lights off. Don't really use that kind of stuff most of the time. I just use a standard view and then we'll go around and do all that stuff. So if we start with room dimensions, this is where I like to start because I just like to go down the list. You can go in whatever order you want. This is how I went. So I'm gonna type my room dimensions in here. The depth is 10 feet, 11 inches in depth, and then 12 feet by 3 inches wide. And then the ceiling height with the drop ceiling is 7 feet, 9 inches. So perfect. There's a bunch of little things popping up over here. We're not gonna pay attention to those right now because we're just kind of getting things set up. So I'll hit next. There's only 2 seats per row. I only have 2, I don't have 3. A row of seats, we're not really worried about that. And then distance from the screen, I think I have factored in around 7 feet. I can't remember exactly what I did. And what's cool is you can also grab something like the couch and go back and forth and change it like that. And you'll also notice when I do that, the speakers, the position, let me move this around so you can kind of see the speakers and the position, they update in real time. So if you're further away, they kind of widen the front soundstage out a little bit. As you get closer, they tighten it up to the point where it'll run into your display area, which you don't want. So I'm gonna set that around 7 feet. Again, that might change. I can't remember the exact number that I have it at. Width of the aisle, we'll leave that at default, and then we'll go to next. So video setup, I'm not actually using a projector, but what's cool is you can go in here and select different projector brands and models, very popular models and stuff like that. Not just what Audio Advice sells, I believe. They have a bunch of different models. So I'm using a flat panel TV and 77 inches. One thing that they don't have on here that I wish they would add, or maybe that's a future update, is I'm not wall mounting my TV. I know that's a popular thing to do, but something that I can't do right now just due to the setup of the room. I wanted to initially, but I just couldn't do it. So I would love to see like an option to have a stand of some sort in here, or at least be able to move the TV out into the room, because as it stands right now, the TV's actually 1.5 feet into the room instead of right on the wall. So that's just a little thing to consider when you're doing this, is keep that in mind. The immersion level listed as extreme, that's what I want. I want the IMAX experience at home. It's pretty cool to be that close. If we hit next, and then we're gonna go to the speaker layout. Now, you can choose in-walls, box for any of this stuff pretty much, except for the subwoofers, obviously, but you can choose the amount of subwoofers. So let's start in the very beginning here. I'm gonna go with box, that's what we're doing. Everything's gonna remain box for me just because I can't afford in walls at this point, but maybe someday down the road I can use this again and check it out. Having this kind of stuff available at any time that you need it is super awesome. Anyway, we're gonna do box for the front 3 speakers. Main surrounds are gonna do box as well. If you prefer your surrounds at ear height, that's okay too. You just might have to make a slight modification to it. And see, I grabbed the couch there, so we'll have to move that back to 7 feet. I just want to kind of leave it at 7 feet for for this. And what's cool is that you can just go back and forth and adjust things too. That's something that you kind of see me doing right now, even though I grabbed the couch by accident and made a mistake. I was able to go back and fix it, but if you look at this and go, you know what, I want the couch a little further back, then you could just grab it and then make that adjustment, or you can go back into the seating and do that. So if we come down back to the speakers, I'm not doing wide surrounds, I'm not doing rear surrounds right now, but you can kind of see what those would look like. You could see what the front wide surrounds would look like as well, but I don't have those two right now. I have 4 subwoofers technically, but we'll just click 2. I'm not actually using this to determine where the subwoofers are gonna go in the room. Just where my bed speakers are and my Atmos speakers. And again, you can kind of look around here. And then number of Atmos speakers, you can choose 2, 4, 6. I kind of like to choose 6 just to see what it looks like, even though I don't have that right now. Gives me ideas for the future, but I'm gonna do 2. Again, you can do 4. I would like the ability for the Atmos speakers to be able to tell them, okay, I wanna do top fronts and top middles. I know that's technically not accurate as to how you're supposed to set it up, but sometimes, depending on the situation in your room and setup, you might have to do that. But that is pretty much it. We have everything kind of laid out, all of our speakers and everything. So if I save and view specs, we can label this whatever. I'll label it Brad's Home Theater. Sorry, I gotta do this over here. I need a wireless keyboard. And then I'll just put in my email, brad@hometheatergamer.com. And then we'll hit save. But what we can do now is we can get out of full screen on our browser, go into my email, and then go to view my theater. Now you might think, oh, that's just gonna bring me to my theater that I just set up. No, it's actually giving you a printout essentially of everything you did to your room. So it tells you right here, immersion level extreme, speakers 5.2.2, 77-inch flat panel with a 16:9 aspect ratio, gives you the room dimensions. And then here's where the really awesome thing is. This is what I loved because I was able to print this out and just use this to do all my measurements and everything to where my speaker should go. It tells you where your seating should go. It gives you tips on the screen placement. So here it says it should be placed 30 inches from the floor. So you don't want it too high, you don't want it too low. That's the optimum position. And then it'll tell you the required wall space. It'll tell you here for placement of your left and right front speaker, your center speaker, main surround speakers, Atmos speakers. It'll tell you they should be located 6 feet, 4.42 inches into the room from the screen's wall, with 7 feet 2 inches distance between the tweeters of each front Atmos speaker. So that is super, super awesome. It'll even tell you approximate square feet of acoustic paneling that you may want for your room to kind of tighten everything up. Again, this was 100% free. You don't pay anything for this. You do the process on the website, type in your email address, and they send this to you for free. You can go down to Best Buy and buy speakers that way. You can go through Audio Advice, buy speakers that way, or you can use this for your very own speakers that you already have. Maybe your room isn't set up optimally. You can actually use this to do that. So it can be for anything from buying new speakers to optimizing your room with your current system. So you can do all of that for free with just a little bit of time and effort. Super, super cool. So obviously this tool helped me out tremendously during my whole design and setup process. Now, there is a whole thing you can go through with Audio Advice. They offer a bunch of different services. I initially was gonna try to go with one of those that actually talk to them about it, but then we bought the house and I got the new AC system installed, and that pretty much ate most of the home theater budget. So I went the completely DIY route instead of going with something that they were offering. The great thing is the Home Theater Designer is still a free tool. So it gave me all the measurements and everything I needed to put my speakers in my room in the optimum place. And even if I wanted to go off script, so to speak, it really is nice to just have that reference or baseline right there in front of you, either on your phone or tablet or printed out, to kind of go back to in case you run into an issue or an area where you can't really install speakers this way, but you can do it this way. It's so you can make an educated decision on where to place speakers and where to make those compromises if need be. Now, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button and let me know down in the comment section below. Also, have you used Audio Advice's Home Theater Designer tool? And if so, let me know how you liked it down in the description as well. I really love talking about this, and I really wish we had something like this way back in the day when I was just getting into home theater. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.